Welcome back, boys and girls, to the highly cluttered and chaotic workspace known as the southern wing of the Stink Bug Works. Today, we've been making progress. I got a whole bunch to report to you. But first, I must have jet juice. A couple of people inquired about plans. And yes, this is the way we did it in the old days. We drew up our plans and we cut them out and we pasted it on the wood and we cut the wood out. But even though I'm destroying these plans, I did have enough foresight to scan them. I had to scan them in pieces, but I scanned them. And what I will do is I will bring them into AutoCAD and just trace some lines, and that way I can print them on a PDF sheet. Now, the tub is more than 11 inches, so I'm going to have to cut it in half and give you a break line and print half of it on one sheet of 8.5 by 11 and the other half on the other half of it, or another sheet of 8.5 by 11, and you put them together, and I'll give you lines to match up and so forth. So, yes, I will make some PDF files, and they're just going to be simple line drawings, and, you're probably going to have to refer back to some of these videos for some of the details, but it should be pretty self-explanatory. What I'm using is 3mm Depron, 6mm Depron, and 9mm Depron. The bulkheads and the transom and the sponsons are all 9mm. The sides are all 6mm. The top and bottom and the ride plates are all 3mm. If you want to make a ski, you can use the 3mm stuff. Or you could take like a section of 9mm and hog out the middle for the drive shaft. So, there's some options. Or you could use 2 pieces of 9mm in the back for shoes. Minimum inside width. I measured the batteries and such. This is the first measurement I actually have. One of my viewers commented, "What about the measurements?" And I responded, "Measurements? We don't need no stinking measurements." I just drew around the thing and called it good. But here's the first real measurement. You need 1.5 inches clear inside to fit the batteries. Now, my motto has always been fast, cheap, and out of control, with the emphasis on cheap. Now, these are what will attach the sponsons to the frame and allow for easy replacement of broken sponsons and what have you, because you're going to run this thing into a bush, and Depron, while it's lightweight, you can break it pretty easy. So I want to make this stuff replaceable. So this is actually 2 thicknesses. So I will, before I cut these apart, I'm going to lay my outer piece on here, tape it on, and then drill with a sharpened tube through these holes and through the sponsons, so you get a good mount. Now, here's the thing on the sponsons. Okay, so I used rubber cement and I glued the plans onto the sponsons, and then I glued 2 pieces of 9mm together to form the sponsons. It's really important that you get good square edges on it. Now, here's how I did that. I have a disc sander, and I got close to the line, using the disc. Then I shut the disc sander off, and imagine this is the disc and this is the disc table, and I just went manually along the disc like this and got a nice square edge. Now I haven't done this edge yet because of this inside curve. I need to break out the oscillating belt sander that has a little radius here where I can get in and get that. So that's that. And if you look, you'll see this little dotted line here. When I break this apart, it's only going to be 9 millimeters thick. I'm going to add a doubler in this area, so the footprint will be this wide, but the stem will only be this wide. Now, here's another thing about these. These, I made them out of G10 because I made everything else out of G10 because I have a big sheet of G10 lying around. As I was finishing these up and looking at them, it dawned on me, dude, you could have been really cheap and made these out of popsicle sticks. I mean, doesn't that look like a popsicle stick? So, word to the wise, if you want to be really cheap, you can substitute materials. You do not have to follow what I do exactly. Now, I'm flattered when you do, but I'm impressed when you don't. I mean, half the fun of this Shinola is inventing it, you know? So we invent things and make Shinola. So that's all we have for you this morning. My plan for today is to sand this, drill this. I'll make these. I'll even glue them together. I may have sponsons ready to go. I do not have the boom tubes. I thought I had, God, where'd it go? See, my shop's such a mess. I thought I had 4mm aluminum tube. I don't. I have 4mm brass tube. And while the brass will work, it's heavy, and I would rather use lightweight material like aluminum. So I will wait. That's that's part of my boat building experience. For example, the systems is waiting on what? Paint to dry and marine adhesive to arrive. The little T3, it's waiting on motors to arrive. This, it's waiting on this to arrive. Maybe before I tempt you guys with projects, I should have all the parts together in one place. Oh well, I thought I had the stuff on hand to do it. So there you go, boys and girls. I just thought I'd show you some cool stuff and give you an update on the cluttered and chaotic mess known as the southern wing of the Stinkbug Works. Until next time, boys and girls, jet out.